Plausible Foolishness. I'm your host, Matt, and I've got opinions on stuff.
Hey, what's up? Oh, whoa.
Well, sorry, I messed you up. I said, let's do that over again. Let's do that over again. I apologize.
Go ahead.
I apologize. I got thrown off by my wicked awesome shawl because it's freaking freezing out here. And let's do it again.
Do it,
Hi,
man.
I'm your host, Matt, and I've got opinions on stuff.
Ray, rocking the Velveteen Dream, and I have opinions on things as well, man. It's the cold, man. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's cold here in Florida, man. It's a whopping 40 degrees here or something like that right now.
Something like that.
It's 40 degrees. For you guys, that's like t-shirt and shorts weather up north. But for us, I mean, we're rocking shawls and wearing blankets, and I've got hot coffee. I never drink hot coffee. Not once. Not
I never
ever.
drink any coffee.
What? We got to change that. But...
No, it's not going to happen.
Oh, my goodness, man. But anyways...
my brother's a connoisseur of coffee.
I know.
And, no.
What
there's
happened?
no convincing me. It's disgusting.
What happened?
I think it tastes terrible.
Do you have PTSD or something from coffee or something?
No,
What's going on?
Actually, when I was a child, I used to drink my father's coffee.
What happened?
I grew up and suddenly coffee just tastes terrible.
Your palate changed, my friend.
Yeah, pretty much.
Palate
and
changed?
I think I taste bitter really strongly.
Yeah, I feel you.
So,
speaking of palate tasting, man, last week was Thanksgiving, was it not?
Yes,
Hey,
it
we
was.
encourage you, Rubes, the Rube Republic, the Rube Empire, the Rube Nation, the Rubes. We encouraged you to go detox yourself from the toxic, not toxic masculinity, not toxic globalism, but just detox yourself a little bit, man. You didn't want to hear our opinions, and we've got more opinions this week, and we're ready to bring it this week, man. But speaking of Thanksgiving, man, happy Thanksgiving, bro.
Likewise, dude.
Dude, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. Spent it with family.
Yeah, speaking of palate, what was your favorite thing you ate, man? 'Cause we know Thanksgiving's about. I mean, what people say it's like First Peoples, it's indigenous, it's Thanksgiving. But what was your favorite thing you ate, man?
Let's see.
Favorite thing. What just did it for you, man? What swinged you, bro?
You know what? Well, my daughter made a pumpkin pie.
Your daughter?
My 3-year-old.
What?
My wife directed her, and my 3-year-old put it all together.
Did she deliver?
Yeah, it was really tasty, and so there was pride in that.
Nice.
And so that was good. Also, my in-laws have a new fire pit, and we roasted hot dogs around it.
Oh man!
And there's just something about fire roasted hot dogs that is just delicious.
Something American.
But the whole meal was really
phenomenal.
Good. Yeah, that was actually 2 days after the meal, but the Thanksgiving meal was great.
I'm giving thanks for that American. It's just an American thing to do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This open fire, hot dogs. I mean, it's all good. I don't care if it's like pig ear or something. I don't care what's in it. It's just so good. It's delicious, man. But yeah, man. Geez, let's see. What did I eat? Everything besides that. I think my favorite thing. My wife makes green bean casserole. Okay. Oh my gosh, she makes it so good. And my favorite dessert was apple pie. I'm not a big... I like pumpkin pie. It's not bad. But man, apple pie rocks. It just rocks.
Dutch apple pie? I'm a Dutch apple pie guy.
I mean, it's okay. It's just too much. It's just too much breading, too much... I want the pie. I want the apples. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we all
Manzanas,
do.
man. I want it all.
I think that the regular crust is meh.
What?
And the Dutch crust, oh my gosh, with the crumbles. Man,
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for crumbles. So.
I'm a sucker for crumbles, man. I like it. Speaking of crumbles, man, crumble your way onto our social media, guys. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Make sure you check us out, man. Make sure you follow us on Plausible Foolishness. But the thing that will help us out the most, well, second most, is YouTube, man. Make sure that you jump up on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for everybody that's jumped on there and add subscribers to us. We're slowly building this monster that is Plausible Foolishness that will take over. And we're on the 40th episode, man.
40th episode.
40!
Yeah.
40
episodes.
40!
We're only 12 weeks away from a full year
Holy crud.
of Plausible Foolishness.
A whole year.
A whole year.
We haven't killed each other then? Yet?
I don't think we're ever going to... You keep saying that, but I don't
listen,
think that's ever going to happen.
Listen, I have PTSD.
We're bros, dude.
Listen,
We're bros.
I have PTSD. I've got trust issues. It is what it is, man. You know what I mean?
Because I'm white, isn't it?
It's because you're a white. You're Jewish too. On top of that, you're a white Jew. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, the other thing that can help us out, the number one thing you can do, man, make sure you jump on Patreon, man. Make sure you sponsor us on Patreon, man. That's what puts the lights on. That's what keeps this coffee warm. That's what keeps the mic working. That's what keeps us coming every single week for you guys. And we really appreciate everything that you've done for us, all of our Patreons that faithfully sponsor us every month. Yeah. We cannot do this without you. And
for sure.
Yeah, man.
That's huge. It's huge.
We got big things
look
popping.
Look at all the stuff. We got the lights, this arm. I bought this before we started, so the microphone is mine. But this will help us expand.
Exactly.
You know, all of this, it's just huge. You don't really understand how impactful it has been.
Yep. And it keeps us going, man. I mean, at the end of the day, like, your support elevates us every single step of the way, man. And building anything is going to be it's a war of attrition, man. That's how it goes. If you want to blow up anything like this, you got to be able to grind every single week. And the fact that you guys are sponsoring us allows us to do that. It's what is helping us focus on what we got to do, man. Because we got big plans on the road. And, you know, my current situation in life, I'm freer than I've ever been before. So I'm ready to just destroy the world and consume it and, you know, grow with some ambition. I'm just trying to take my 5 talents and make it 10, bro. That's all I'm trying to do. Awesome. You feel me? That's what I'm trying to do. You feel me? But anyways, man, the topic at hand, man, we got some crazy topics today, man.
Yeah, but they all have a central theme.
What's that today? What's it
today? That theme is pushing evil.
Pushing that evil. Like bench pressing it or just pushing it?
No, pushing it like a drug pusher.
Like a drug mule. I love the in and out. The in and out is good. I like it. Dun dun dun. That's what the music that we need for that, man. Which we'll get with our patrons. We get a soundboard.
Yep. Stream Deck, buddy.
The first sound you know is going to be X-Files, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a given. It's a given because you're crazy.
Hey, it's all right, man. Listen, man. It's not that crazy. I mean, yeah, I'm crazy. So, yeah. Speaking of crazy, man. So, here's the deal. The left. We know the loony left. And we pick on these guys ad nauseum on this show. But at the end of the day, we were told by the left that we were crazy because Trump called out the fact that there was a caravan that started, in Honduras or something like that?
Yeah.
And started migrating its way through Mexico, which is a very large country, not to the closest point of entry, which would have been Texas, but all the way across the country to California, which happens to be they're trying to be a sanctuary state, but they migrated all the way from there. And we were told we were crazy, that this is not an invading force. It's all women and children. They're just seeking asylum. There's no criminals in this. They're just all peace-loving people. Yeah, you're crazy.
This week we got the picture of the evil Border Patrol shooting tear gas at women and children.
Just innocent women and children, because that's the whole crowd. They were just innocent women and children.
I'm just trying to find a better life and escape from, the horrors of Honduras.
That's it, man. It's just women and children. We're crazy. They're not invading forces. They're going to come to the border and they'll enter legally. That's what they said they would, and they would seek asylum, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
At all.
So, man, here's a report. Headline: Rock-throwing migrants pushed women and children up front as human shields.
Wow.
Top San Diego border agent says.
Wait, the other women and children push the other women and children in front?
No, it turns out that the majority of the caravan is men.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And that's even confirmed. I was listening to Glenn Beck Tuesday.
Yeah.
And he was playing audio from MSNBC.
Yes.
Where they have a reporter on the field saying
it's
over 3 times that it's majority men.
Yeah, I can't believe MSNBC let that go.
They were joking. He doesn't work there anymore.
Did he get Hillary Clinton?
Maybe.
We're gonna discover his body somewhere possibly. In Tijuana, man. So most of her are men. That's weird. And rock throwing. I mean,
and they're assaulting the agents, the Border Patrol, but using women and children as shields.
You know what?
And that's weird because it's like, we've never seen that before.
Never seen that before.
Oh, wait a second. That's exactly what the jihadists do.
What?
Like Hamas.
That's weird.
In the Gaza Strip.
You know what? I've heard of this before. That's what they were doing in Europe when they were invading in Europe, when it's mostly men. That's crazy. Coming to Europe. That's weird. I thought they were all asylum seekers. But yeah, keep going, man. Sorry. It's like history repeats itself or something, man. That's so weird. But anyways, back to your point. But
Yeah.
so women and children are getting tear gas because only Trump would ever do that, right? Trump's the only person that would ever tear gas kids.
Well, he's a monster. Orange Man bad, bro.
Orange Man bad. We need an NPC. Orange Man bad. Orange Man bad. But you know what? Come to find out, Obama did the same thing.
What?
Did you know that?
What?
So
no, that's impossible. He's amazing.
But here's the thing. This is what I love about this whole narrative. Trump has only been president for 2 years now? Mm-hmm. That's it. This has been happening for a long time. Mm-hmm. And when rowdy people, one would say peaceful migrants, others would say invading forces, come to our border, we have the right to non-violently tear gas, which is not lethal, by the way. We do realize that. It's not lethal. We have a right to protect our borders, and we do it non-lethally with tear gas. You know what's funny is Barack Obama did that. Just like Barack Obama separated families at the border way before Trump was ever there. It's weird.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what that tells me?
What?
Obama was just doing what he had to do as a servant of the public, and it's racist Americans that don't want these people in their country.
That's it.
Wait a second. Wait a second. I remember hearing a story that the Mexican people were protesting.
No.
Their government.
The Tijuana people were protesting?
Yeah, they were protesting the government. Probably because they didn't like that that Mexico wasn't doing enough to get them into America.
Oh, was that it? Or was it because... Wow, yeah.
Wait a second, let me look that up.
Yeah, look that up, man, because we gotta...
Let me look that up.
That doesn't seem...
Oh, okay, here it is. It was because they didn't want them in their country, and they didn't like that the Mexican government was letting them stay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Racist Mexicans,
those
man.
Those brown people racist.
Gosh, man.
Orange Man bad.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. The funny thing is the narrative's been painted that we're so racist and evil because we don't want people illegally coming from other countries invading our borders, throwing rocks, and using women and children as shields. We don't want that. And come to find out the Mexicans don't want that either. Especially in Tijuana. They don't want people coming in from there. Now, here's the problem. Is that racist if Mexicans don't want Hondurans into their country? Is that racist? Or is that nationalist? Or is that one of the ists that are so evil that we're told about?
No, it's just common sense. They don't want a caravan of people forcing their way into their country.
Yeah.
Because, they're a sovereign nation or something.
Yeah, that's weird.
Do you really think that if a caravan of Americans tried to break into Mexico, that they wouldn't be stopped at the border? You're darn sure right they would be.
Skippy, they would, yeah. Darn skippy they would be. And here's the thing, too. Let's put it in a practical sense. I want you to imagine 20 people just forcibly force their way into your home and just expect to be accepted into your home. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Would you be okay with that? Chances are probably not.
No.
So that's
why all these Hollywood celebrities have armed guards around them constantly.
I thought they lived among the people. Like in the slums and stuff like that. No? Oh, they live in Bel Air and all those really nice places where they have lots of gates and guards.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
weird. So weird.
Exactly.
So, I mean, my point is this, is I think it's hilarious, when we take ideas, we demonize those ideas in the macro, but then when we put them in the micro, sorry, I've been watching a lot of Gary Vee, we put it in the micro, had to do it, a lot of Gary Vee, if you didn't watch him, he's awesome. We wouldn't like it very much, you know what I mean? We wouldn't like that at all. Come to find out, we would hate that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, it's just very interesting to me, how this narrative's still going on. And the funny thing is at some point the left's gotta understand there's a big black eye on their face right now. Because we were told that there's no caravan coming. And then we were told, oh, they're just all women and children. And then we were told there's no criminals there. And then we were told, oh, they're peaceful people and blah, blah, blah. And this is just a tactic by Trump to win the elections over blah, blah, blah. And now, elections are 2 weeks ago, because Florida, we have to track it out an extra week. I think there's a runoff election going on right now in Mississippi or something right now.
Is it still?
I think so. I have no clue. But long story short, ends up not being an election ploy. It actually it's a real problem that our borders are actually being, invaded a little bit. One might call that invasion. When somebody just breaks into your house, it's called Isn't it called home invasion?
Yeah, it is.
It's weird. So if they do it to the country, it's the same thing. But, you know, words and nuance. Nuance.
Really,
nuance.
Yeah, the situation is very nuanced.
It's nuanced, man. It's nuanced. So nuanced.
Well, you know what the nuance is that the left wants to tear down Rome the way that they want to tear down America the way Rome was torn down by
of course.
Foreign invaders. You know,
Ah.
One of many ways. You know?
Yeah.
It fell apart. They want to tear it down from the inside, corrupt our institutions.
Yeah.
You know, and not just like I'm not talking like, you know, government institutions. I'm talking about institutions like the family, and so on and so forth.
What?
Yeah.
My goodness, man.
And then they also want to bring in these. You know, they want to make it. They want to block every attempt to stop foreign invaders. You know.
Yeah.
They're pulling the same tactics, the same thing.
Yeah.
It's.
I think it's some.
I don't know how you don't see it.
Well, I think people are. I think that's the thing.
That's
I think people are waking up to it. I think that's why 2020 is going to be a landslide. I don't want to talk about 2020 now, but I just think people are waking up to it. I think people are like, you know, all the NPCs out there are screaming, "Orange man bad," because racism, and he's orange. And people are waking up to that. They're like, "Oh, hey, there's more money on my tax returns. Hey, we're not doing so bad. Hey, he's kind of trying to protect my job here. Hey, he's trying to take care of our country." It's so weird. At some point, the silent majority, I mean, will show up at the polls like it did at the midterms, and it'll do it even bigger in the bigger elections. So, at the end of the day, at some point, the left's like a petulant child that just keeps crying and crying and crying. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, we keep spanking its butt, and it keeps crying and keep going. Eventually, you know, no one's going to listen to it anymore. You know what I mean? So, hopefully, they just destroy each other with Ocasio-Cortez and, you know, whatever. But... Yeah, anyways, my point is this. It's just a petulant child at this point, man. You know, it's just a crying little child. Speaking of crying little child, man, this story's a little intense, man. And let me prep the audience for this before we bring this up. Man, this is going to be graphic in nature.
A little bit.
So, if you have children, please let them exit the room and cover their eyes and cover their whatever, but... Go ahead, Big Dog. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I'll read the headline.
Sure.
Kate Beckinsale. Swing!
That'll be our picture for
Swing! Brags. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Okay. Brags about getting foreskin facial made from Korean infants in now deleted post. Swing? No, swing.
Swing. So Kate, sorry, Kate Beckinsale. Bring up that headline. I gotta see it. I gotta visually see it, okay. Man. I'm sorry. I can't get over it. I got swinged. I got Wayne's World. I love it. Kate Beckinsale brags about foreskin facial. How does that work again?
Well, apparently there's like stem cells and stuff.
Okay. Are these North Korean babies or South Korean babies?
South Korean. Apparently circumcision's really big over there.
Okay.
And so there's just all this foreskin laying around, and they discovered that there's stem cell stuff in there, and so they can turn it into a facial that helps with the aging process, and and so on and so forth. And it's actually very common in Hollywood. They've talked about it a lot.
Ouchies.
Yeah.
Hollywood likes to bathe in blood, though, too, don't they? Don't they do that blood face? When the Kardashians did the blood,
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, it's disgusting. But yeah, keep going. Yeah, sorry.
But so, yeah, they're doing it. There's lots of stars. Kate Blanchett and Katy Perry and...
Oh, man.
Emma Stone and Sandra Bullock and, just all these people. And I mean...
They just throw foreskins on their face. Is that what it is?
It's not just... It's a serum made from it,
Like what?
It's a facial made from it. It's probably not ground up and then splattered on their face, but they use them to, Now, my thing is that like this is big news, and there's a lot of people posting this stuff, and they're like talking about how demonic it is. This is actually more, for me, this is more of a, like, what are you talking about, right?
Okay.
You know,
okay.
like, I don't have a problem with this, except that it's kind of gross.
Well, before I even get into this rant, they've got to find a better name than Korean foreskin.
Well, they call
it's like,
the Hollywood celebrities call it the penis facial because they're so.
But that's still
they're so.
Wait, okay. Here's the thing. Guano. Okay, everybody knows what guano is, right? Mm-hmm. Guano's bat poop. We all know it's bat poop. Okay, but it's got a cute little name, guano.
Yeah, it's actually deadly.
But it's guano. It's a cute little name, man. You know what I mean? Couldn't they find a cutesy little like Korean name for this?
I'm sure that they could, but they like to revel in their, in their grossness. So they're pushing. No, some people say that they're pushing evil.
Yeah.
With this stuff.
Okay.
And like the name that they use for it, the little funny cutesy name, the penis facial, is them pushing evil because it they just make light of everything that's sexual.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the facial itself,
yeah,
that doesn't really bother me that much.
Yeah, I mean, I get it because it's your girl. I mean, so it is
I
what it is.
I don't even care who it was before. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, here's my thing. I don't
have a problem with circumcision.
Okay.
And then using the part left over that just gets thrown away to greater effect, that's good in my mind.
Okay, so here's okay. Here's where I'm going to give the dissenting view here, okay? I won't say that cutting off a foreskin is demonic, because obviously in our good book, the early Jews were commanded to circumcise, okay? Circumcise. You know what I mean? I totally get where that's coming from, okay? Totally makes sense. However, nowadays, even in... If you're watching us live on Instagram, check out the poll. I just put foreskin treatment, yes or no? Question mark. Yeah, I mean, here's okay. That's what Peter and Paul got into it about, right? Should
it's definitely not required. It's definitely not required for salvation or anything like that.
I think the demonic element for me would be, why are we abusing kids to use kid parts to do that stuff? Because I'll give you an example.
But circumcision isn't freaking abuse.
But what my point is...
But that's what they're talking about.
Okay, my point is, as one of the signatures of demonic, satanic, Luciferian practices, the abuse of children, killing kids, using their blood, using whatever to improve the lives of the followers of Lucifer, Satan, blah, blah, blah. So I see that part of it. However, the actual act of circumcision is not evil or bad. I think most American men, like our age, have been circumcised. However, at the end of the day, man, I look at circumcision kind of like I look at Leviticus. It's like Levitical law. It's like, do we need that nowadays? And even like if you're looking at science, I got into a big thing with my wife with the new kid that was coming in. If we had a boy, we're deciding whether we're gonna Snippy or Stacey. You know what I mean? At this point, do we need it? Do we need circumcision? Do we need that to happen? Do we need that separation? Do we need to do that to little kids? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if it's a necessity, man. Do we need to do that, bro? Do we need to chop off what God gave us?
They're saying that nowadays, no,
Yeah.
Whole generations of people didn't, whole races of people didn't do it.
Yeah.
In the time of the Jews, it was something meant to set them apart.
Yeah.
It's definitely not required.
Sure.
But I also don't think that we should be demonizing people who do it, which is happening a lot more nowadays.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that's it's kind of a little, I don't want to say anti-Semitic, but it's kind of in the same vein.
Sure.
Like it might be coming from the same place.
I can see that. I can see that. here's the thing. I don't think we should demonize anybody in that circumstance, right? So, like, for example, when
I have a boy, I'm gonna have him circumcised.
Chop him off.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'm circumcised, and I think it's, Bro,
what about his pork and beans?
I've been circumcised, and I'm fine.
Yeah, but like
I'm 100%.
So what happens? And I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Okay, mm-hmm. I'm not doing the devil's work. Okay, even though I'm wearing a Velveteen Dream shirt right now. Okay, and this is why it caused me to, because I never thought of this through, but there are incidences where doctors slip up and cause traumatic damage to that. You know what?
Sure, yeah.
And kill the sensation of the. What's the point of the? You know what? God gave it to us for a reason, man. You know what I mean? Now I'm not saying every case,
so that he could have his people remove it and set themselves apart.
I get it, but we've already been removed in the spirit through Jesus Christ.
Sure.
So we don't need to choppy the.
No, we don't need to. But I think it's still a fine practice. And
it's just a cheap way.
It'll just make his life a little bit easier. One less thing to do. I'm all about that. And how many cases are there really of what you're talking about?
But here's that case. I'll give you an example. That in that case, I don't even want to be that. Yes, it's a super low percentage, right? However, I don't go dancing out in a thunderstorm, right? I don't go dancing in a thunderstorm because even though it's a very low short, I don't want to get struck by lightning.
The percentage for that is actually higher.
It probably is, but I don't even play that game.
Nah, I'm not worried.
I'm just listen.
I'm not worried.
But it's not your. You know what? It's your son's.
I know, but I went through the same thing, and it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm just maybe it's 2018 for me, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just get nervous about anybody with tools around my possible sons. You know what?
Fine.
You know what I mean?
That's fine. You can. That's fine. I'm just not worried.
I feel like listen.
I'm really not worried.
I got you. Hey, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Shout out to your boy Kyle Steve.
Kyle Steve, what's up, Kyle Steve?
New subscriber.
Oh, I love Kyle Steve. He's my boy, man.
Thanks for subscribing. We appreciate it. Also, kind of odd that you started subscribing when we talked about circumcision.
So yeah, we're talking about penises on here. So
maybe it was Kate Beckinsale. Maybe it was Kate Beckinsale that brought him.
Well, it seems like a cheap trick to get closer to a female's face. I mean, with this whole Korean, No, I'm just kidding.
Gross.
Speaking of gross, we gotta talk about this, man. This fired me up a little bit, man. Just a little bit. Here's the thing. Like, it's clearly obvious with Matt where he stands here. Okay, he's a nerd. Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
It's true.
I come in the appearance of a big body, but here's the deal. I am nerd to the core. Okay, and one of the earliest kind of tells you can tell a child's going to be a nerd or not is how they respond to The Hobbit and how they respond to Lord of the Rings. Like, how do you respond to a little short midget hobbit with fuzzy feet? How do you respond to that, right? Mm-hmm. Some people are like, meh. Nerds are like, yeah. Now, not quite the swing that you just saw in the episode.
and it's not necessarily for the hobbit.
Sure.
It's for the people that he runs with, rolls with,
I know, but I mean, the elves are pretty bad, eh? I'm not going to lie.
God.
The dwarves are great.
I remember reading Lord of the Rings for the first time, and when they're trudging through the Misty Mountains, and Saruman sends that storm.
Yes,
that's like that's slowing them down so that they can't make it through, and the whole party is trudging through the snow, like just painstakingly
dying,
pushing through like waist high snow.
Yes,
except for Legolas. Because he's fleet of foot, as all elves are.
Jeez.
And he's just walking right on top of the snow.
Cheat code.
Cheat code. When I read that, I was like, the elves are the best. Why am I not an elf?
That's a great question.
This world sucks.
This world sucks. Yeah, man.
And that is the refrain of all nerds. This world sucks. I wish I was in another world.
But you know what's funny, though? You think about it. If we lived in some of these worlds... as humans,
that world would suck too.
Suck.
Like the average human in the Lord of the Rings is getting massacred, by evil orcs.
When Aragorn's like, well, Aragorn is Aragorn, right? The king.
Yeah.
He's like the Rangers are they're the ones that can hang, man.
Yeah.
But jeez. But anyway, I mean, think about living in Dragon Ball Z. Just think about that.
Yeah.
At any point,
your city could be destroyed by
city
one
could be
guy's
destroyed. Your
punch.
world could be destroyed by a blast.
A single punch.
Yeah, dude. I mean, some of these worlds, you're like, dude, like Attack on Titan. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's like, I want to live in the world of Harry Potter, and then you get transported there, but you're a Muggle. Yeah. So it's basically our world, and you don't know anything.
Oh man, did you see the new movie? Did you see the new one yet?
Not yet. I want to.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I will not spoil alert here on the show. I've watched a lot of movies.
Not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that, I'll be able to go with my wife.
Oh man, dude, the new Harry Potter is awesome. Creed 2 is awesome. I saw that. Oh, I saw it. I liked Venom. He hated. He hasn't seen it yet, but he's been the kibosh on that bad boy. But
I'll watch it on Redbox. Well, download or whatever.
I got you.
But I ain't paying for it. That's for sure.
So speaking of the world of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and so on and so forth, apparently orcs were discriminated against.
What?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Sci-fi writer says Lord of the Rings is racist because it discriminates against orcs.
Lord of the Rings is racist. How is that possible? How is it possible that Lord of the Rings is racist? How is that possible?
It's not. It's nonsense.
I mean, literally, how is that even remotely possible? Like, there's hobbits and elves and dwarves and pick your enchanted person.
Because you got this race of orcs and they're evil. So, a science fiction author, Andrew Duncan, has a message for J.R.R. Tolkien fans, particularly fans of the famed writer's Lord of the Rings trilogy. Tolkien discriminated against orcs, and the Lord of the Rings books promote racism.
Oh my gosh.
So he was discussing the books for Wired Magazine's Geek's Guide to the Galaxy podcast.
Oh my gosh.
When his assessment of Tolkien's masterpiece took a decidedly woke turn.
Woke?
That's what the article said. That's a good touch.
Jeez.
So this is his quotes. It's hard to miss the repeated notion in Tolkien that some races are just worse than others, or that some peoples are just worse than others. And this seems to me in the long term, if you embrace this too much, it has dire consequences for yourself and for society.
Oh my gosh.
So he's referring to the orcs in this, and
but the orcs aren't even a race. They're peoples, and they have a different culture than everybody else in Lord of the Rings. Because there's a homogeny between the hobbits and the humans and the dwarves and the elves. Now, in the book, they keep to themselves, but they pretty much get along. They're united under trying to take out Saruman, right? That was the whole deal.
Sauron,
man.
And Saruman. It's kind of both.
So, evil. They united against evil and oppression. They came against it. The orcs did evil.
Yes,
they were about evil.
Yeah, and they serve only masters that are evil. And they're not. And you're right in that they're not the race. In the Silmarillion, you find out that they're actually corrupted elves.
Yes, they're elves.
They're elves who were taken and abused and mutated into orcs.
Yes,
and
they're just another elf, bro.
And the writer goes, orcs also are not people living in the modern age. They're a fictional race of characters who populate a fictional universe that also include elves, dwarves, and talking trees, and have absolutely no connection to the ideas of critical race and gender theory.
It's weird.
Infecting university English departments, and increasingly science fiction as a whole.
This is what happens when we don't have true evil against us. Do you understand? This is the crap people sit around. But we do. But this is what happens.
It's called Islam.
True. Al Qaeda. ISIS. But
radical Islam.
This is what happens when we don't have a real adversary that people tangibly taste and see every single day. This is the crap we fight. This is the crap we fight. This is what we get pissed about. We get pissed about a book that was written in the 70s. When was this written? Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, 70s.
70s. Hobbit was like the 60s, right? Or something like that?
Possibly, yeah.
Like, this is an old story that in 2018 now we're calling racist. And
Well,
this is
everything is taken in the modern context.
yeah.
Everything.
But the problem is it's a neutral story. It's good, evil. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Good, evil.
Yes.
Orcs are not good. Orcs do evil things.
Very evil things.
It's not.
Very evil
It's
things.
not a race thing. It's culture.
But this is what they do. This is what they do. They push. This isn't even so much. They side with evil on every turn.
It's like they're pushing.
They side
evil.
with the caravan.
Yeah.
You know.
Rock
They side with the caravan.
Non-invaders.
Pushing lies about them being, wholesome, and whatnot. When they know that it's majority men.
Yeah.
And which is weird because you'd think that would be in favor of their toxic masculinity argument.
Well, of course.
But, and they're doing bad things, but that's all covered up. They want you to side with the orcs as being misunderstood. Just a race of misunderstood people. When really they're the forces of evil.
Yes. That's the whole point of the story.
But for them, there
evil.
is no such thing as evil. That's why they could live with Weinstein for so long.
And be okay with it.
And be okay with it, and be best friends with him, and call him their god. And
they did.
And
Meryl Streep, we won't forget.
And just,
Roman Polanski.
Yeah,
Roman Polanski.
Yeah. They can side with these monsters. Until it's convenient for them to oust
Kevin
them.
Spacey, we love you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to do it. I mean, is it because they're just evil? And I don't want to attribute motive. I don't want to be that guy that attributes motive. But when you clearly have no distinction of what good and evil is, and you're pushing for the evil faction to be viewed as good, are you at some point culpable in the idea that you're evil?
Yeah. Yes,
and you just don't know it?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
But let's listen to what he has to say.
Oh my gosh.
I can easily imagine that many of those people that were doing the Dark Lord's bidding were doing so out of simple self-preservation and so forth.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that a lot of those creatures that were sort of raised out of the earth by Sauron had not a great deal of choice in the matter of what to do. So I had this very complicated sense of the politics of all that. Shut up. You're ruining everything that we love.
it's not real. It's not real, bro. It's fictitious. It's a fictitious book. And when you're attacking it as if it's a real commentary on real life, you've lost the argument already. Like, already. This is like sitting around and discussing, well, I mean, Thanos had a reason, man. He had It's not real. It's not real, man, at all. Mm-hmm. And then you inject this in, like, you focus on stuff that's not real, because in your reality,
because there can be no evil.
Yeah, man. It's
evil must be good.
There's
or
evil.
At the best misunderstood.
Well, the whole point is this: everything that God establishes is turned. Everything's turned. Good and evil don't exist. There's just, right? That's the whole anti whatever. There's not man and woman. There's 93
This is
genders.
This is postmodernism.
Postmodernism. Their up is down, left is right. The sky's green. We landed on Mars. I mean, there's a lot of things that are out there. There's just a lot of things that are just topsy-turvy. This is what they do. This is what we focus on, man. And now we're focused on telling people a classic story that's taught very good lessons. If you read it, God forbid from the perspective that the hobbits are good people, are the good guys, and they're trying to fight evil, it teaches good things. If you do what Gandalf and who else is in that bad boy? Aragorn and all these guys fighting for good, protecting people, saving women and children. These are good things that they're doing. To sit and read that book and be like, oh, the orcs were manipulated, and the orcs were evil, serving an evil person, just like people do. This is what happens in dictatorships and fascists and all this stuff that you're claiming exists when they don't.
And maybe they didn't have much choice. But they still did evil things.
Yeah. They're Nazis. We didn't have a choice, man. Still did it. That's called war crime. You're going to have to pay for it, man. You're going to have to pay for the evil that you do. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. And the orcs got rocked. Read the book. It's how it goes, man. They got what they got. Just like, guess what? All the racists in the country back in the 50s and 60s, they got their comeuppance, man. It is what it is. I exist for a reason. Half white, half black. I'm real. You can't take that away. The reality is this. All this evil, all this stuff, and this, oh man, I mean, that takes me to another discussion that I had with somebody over this week, but at some point, there's got to be a distinction of what is good and what is bad. And you can't justify that. You can't justify the evil. And that's all this is. Oh, the orcs were misunderstood. This is a game that everybody plays. Mm-hmm. And eventually, if you let this play out, which you will, because you're the left, you're going to do this stuff. Eventually, you're going to side with people like Roman Polanski, who raped a 13-year-old girl. Roman Polanski! Yay! And you're going to get excited about it.
And that was at... What's his face? Jack Nicholson.
Yes, Jack Nicholson!
Jack Nicholson.
Whatever his name is.
House, yeah.
You can't handle the truth. You're right. You can't handle it. You let a little girl get raped in your house. Like, you're going to let Kevin Spacey exist. You're going to let these guys exist, and you're going to justify it. You're going to be okay with it. Because if nothing's evil, guys. Nothing is. Like, at some point...
It's only evil when it's convenient to call it evil because it scores you some points, some power points.
Virtue signaling.
Well, that's postmodernism. We're in a
Orange
power
man
struggle.
bad.
There's no truth, but the only truth is that we're in a power struggle. And so...
Orange man bad.
Everything, not even just that Orange man bad, but anything goes. Yep. Whatever you need to do or say to obtain power... You side with Harvey Weinstein while he's useful.
Yep.
And then as soon as he's not, you throw him to the wolves.
Yep.
And claim what he did was evil even though you don't really care.
Yep.
And because that also makes you powerful.
Yeah, I mean, and you think we're making this crap up, we're not. They are trying to add pedophilia to the LGBTQ blah 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 community thing. Yeah. That's what they're trying to do. And if I was a gay person, I'd be pissed.
I think it was Vox, maybe?
Yeah.
Or some... I can't remember the name of the site, but they had a whole video on this guy who claims to be a pedophile.
Yeah.
But he's not a practicing pedophile.
Just in his head.
And he's showing, like, all these pictures that his friends' children have made him. Ugh. And it's sick. It is sick. And they're trying to normalize this guy.
Yeah. It's normal, bro. There's no evil, man.
That is not normal. I mean, it's good if he isn't practicing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But maybe you address the fact that you're sexually attracted to children.
It's a little weird.
Maybe you go see a therapist about that.
That might be evil, one might say.
Yeah, that might be pretty darn evil, and you might need to seek help about that. But no, I'm just a normal guy and living a normal life. I just happen to be sexually attracted to children, but I know it's wrong, so I don't act on it.
Yeah.
Wow, you're freaking, a saint.
No.
You have saint level temptation resistance.
Sure. But he's the good guy. But the straight white people that get married and have kids, they're evil.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, they're promoting patriarchal values, and
the people that promote saving lives and like being anti-abortion, they're evil. They're the evil ones. Mm-hmm. The freaking... I mean, you can go down the list with any of this stuff, guys. You can give up a plethora of excuses for why you're going to justify evil, but evil is evil. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. The orcs in a fictitious world are evil. In a real world, death, murder is evil. Rape is evil. Pedophilia is evil. All this stuff's evil. And to sit around and say, oh, it's not evil because of, my professor said this at Cornell. Whatever. Mm. You're full of it. It's just an attack on God, man. At the end of the day, it's an attack on God. It's an attack on truth. It's an attack on values. It's an attack on things that are relevant into this world. It's absolutely total foolishness. Not plausible, just foolishness. Mm. And when we don't have real enemies to, like, here's the problem. We don't have the gates up, one, because we don't have walls. But we don't have any enemies to really physically fight. So now we're fighting fiction. We're going after that. We're going after pronouns. We're going after... we're going after just crazy scenarios that aren't real. We're bringing up all these trans issues that are going on right now. No offense. Like, I love all people. I'm a Christian person. But at the end of the day, there aren't trans issues in America. I'm sorry. I am so sorry to say it. But there's no trans issues. If you want to dress up like a dude, do it. That's cool. Just don't show up in the bathroom with my little girls. Mm-hmm. No offense. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. You're born with a schlong, and you got your poor foreskin ripped off because whatever. But like, just stay away from my girls. Is that so wrong? I'm so evil for thinking that, for protecting my girls. Sorry, Roman Polanski. But at the end of the day, sorry, I'm just gonna. That clip. If you don't go on YouTube and watch it, Harrison Ford reads him winning an Oscar, and freaking what's her face, Mamma Mia. What's the Mamma Mia chick that always wins the Oscars? Yeah. She's like, Roman Polanski, child rapist. This is what they celebrate, man. They celebrate this, and we're sitting around.
They think it's a shame. The guy did this. They think it's a shame that he can't come into America because he'll be arrested on sight for it. They think that's a shame.
Didn't Oprah? Not Oprah Winfrey. Who's the dreadlock lady? Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it wasn't rape. Is that what she said? She like justified it.
Yeah.
Like,
it wasn't rape.
But they're the ones
that... Who can say that? Who can say that in any other context?
A 13-year-old girl's not rape, but Donald Trump's evil. Think about this. These are the people you elevate and put on a pedestal.
Harvey Weinstein didn't rape women.
I didn't rape, but Trump's bad.
Kevin Spacey didn't rape boys.
But Pence is evil. I mean, think about this, guys.
Yeah. How ridiculous of Pence to not want to be in the same room alone with another woman that he works with. What an idiot!
Me too. I mean, come on. This is the lunacy. This is the lunacy. This is what we're... this is the crap that we're chasing. We're chasing invisible demons. We're chasing police brutality when there's a genocide on the African-American community. 51% of us are aborted out of the world, but we're chasing that. We're angry at Donald Trump for wanting to secure our borders when we have a terrible sex trafficking problem in America right now. We've got little girls. People get snatched and sold out to Saudi Arabia. It is a categorical fact. In Asia, they're doing the same thing. There's slavery to this day. We're talking about 18 whatever, 100 slavery when it's happening right now. I wish people would use the same intensity towards what's actually happening now, but they won't. Because this is the problem with postmodern America, postmodern Western society, postmodern whatever. It's an attack on truth. It's an attack on God. It's an attack on what's truly good. Mm-hmm. Because they want to elevate evil. It is what it is.
Well, yeah, they don't...
just pushing that evil.
They're pushing evil. And it's really... They don't care about... Nope. Because what is the goal of all of this? To end Western culture. The only...
Globalism, but yeah, I got you. Yeah.
The only bastion of light, because of its Judeo-Christian foundation...
The Jews and white Americans are evil. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
Evil.
In this world, the only cultures that have nearly eradicated poverty.
That's weird.
And we can talk about poverty in America, and
sure.
it's a thing.
Well, poverty causes abortion.
But poverty in America does not compare to poverty in the world.
No.
And then on top of that, capitalism has cut poverty in the last 20 years. In 20 years, poverty has cut world poverty in half. Capitalism has done that. Capitalism did that. But capitalism is the enemy somehow?
Yeah.
Marxism didn't do that. Marxism hasn't done that at all.
Yeah. But
it's our only hope.
Bro, up is down, left is right. Women are men are women.
Yeah, on every level they push evil.
Of course,
every level. And I'm not. I don't mean that as like a colloquial evil. Like I'm just using strong language. I'm serious. I mean evil. Evil.
Dare we say like evil human nature, Lucifer, stuff like that. I mean, God forbid, it's kind of real. But my point is this, like, dude, at some point you gotta wake up from this, man. But they're pushing evil, man. They're pushing evil,
left and right.
But you know what?
The thing is that the human heart is addicted to evil.
We love it, man. We love it. But you know what?
That's why you need Jesus.
Amen, brother. You need Jesus. And if listen, if you need to hear more about Jesus, hit us up after the show. We'll talk to you about it. Now, here's the deal. Speaking of pushing things, besides the salvation of your soul, that's really important. Patreons, man. Continue to sponsor us on Patreon, man.
Yep.
Listen, we're about to shoot.
Patreon.com/plausible foolishness.
Boom. How do they get the special stuff? I mean, the special stuff.
Well,
the
you
special
need
sauce.
to become a 5th degree rube.
5th degree rube.
And you can see the tiers of rubes. You can see the tiers of rubes.
If I do some Freemason hand signs, I would do it right now. Yeah.
By going to patreon.com/plausible foolishness. So yeah, become a 5th degree rube and you get access to our Patreon only segment called The 5th Degree.
What are we doing on the 5th degree today?
Today we're going to be talking about, what was it?
The Feminist Bible?
Oh, that's right. The Women's Bible.
The Women's Bible!
Feminist Bible. Which actually isn't even an edited or translated version of the Bible. It's just a collection of essays and commentary.
Which we're going to talk about on the 5th degree. So
yeah,
if you want to check that out, make sure you sponsor us, man. If you want to check out the 5th degree, which we get a little bit crazier, we get I mean, this is like PG-13, because we only said foreskins and penis twice today. So it gets a little R-rated, but it's okay. R-rated in a good way. Make sure you check us out on the 5th degree. It's going to burn really good. And you got to check us out, man, over there. Continue to sponsor our show support on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Like, subscribe, and share on our YouTube. Thanks, Cal Steve, for doing that on the show. We love seeing that interaction. Make sure you go on our Instagram and check out our polls. We got a couple polls that are up right now, man. We're just blowing this thing up. We're blowing up. Next week, we got Paul Morales is back on the show. Back on the show, bro.
It's awesome.
Dude, we're back on the show. We got returning guests, man. This thing's going to blow up. Continue to sponsor us, man. And I got to say this, too, for all the rubes out there that love Jesus. Pray for us. I don't say that enough on this show, man. But pray for these guys. Pray for us, man. We're trying to blow this thing up. We want to take it to another level.
We also want to, we want to do it right.
Yep.
Do it, well. And, yeah. And then, and basically when you say what we're going to say,
sure,
what we say, eventually, yeah, they're going to come for us. They
will come for us, man.
They're not going to like what we have to say.
They don't like us very much, man. They don't like us very much. So continue to support us, man. We're living dangerously in these times. We're free now. Who knows how long it'll be free? Who knows how long we'll be able to do this on YouTube? But we appreciate all the support, guys. We appreciate you guys for doing what we do. We want to continue to bring you some content because the difference between me and Big Matt and everybody else that's out there is we actually live in the element, man. We live in real America. We've got real perspective from real Christian dudes that have real takes on this stuff. And we're always going to combat postmodernism. We're always going to come after evil. We're going to keep it plausible. We're going to keep it ha-ha with some foolishness, and we're going to bring it to you every single week, guys. Thank you so much for checking us out. Don't forget to miss us on the 5th degree. Hopefully we've entertained and tore it up, man. We've given them an experience like the Velveteen Room. Love you guys. See you guys next week.
Peace out.